Hey, I'm looking for your help again. I'm trying to get more people to start their own income-generating business on the internet and without costing you anything at all. And actually, what I see, a lot of people are stuck with, starting up the little businesses on the internet or testing them because they're unsure how to use these things and they think they need a consultant or whatever. Well, I found there's people actually in your neighborhood who will do this for free. They will help you, set up a simple little business on the internet for you to sell whatever you want and provide services or whatever. And it's at your public library. So what I'm doing is a fundraiser to help these people, make sure they're around to help people who need a little help, hand-holding to get their businesses started on the internet. Don't go and Google for help to start a business. People are going to charge you money, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. No, you could use existing platforms out there and then go to the library, say, hey, will you sit down with me and help me apply for this thing and set up my little business? And they'll do it for free. I mean, it's wonderful. I interviewed one of these librarians, who do this, and they're wonderful. And I'll give you the link. You could see that video of them. But more importantly, now I'm on eBay and I'm auctioning off a question mark suit. Actually, one of my favorite ones, a green suit, yellow, that was in a lot of commercials and things like that. So I'm looking for, anybody really wants a question mark suit? Man, go to eBay and just search for handmade Matthew Lesko on eBay, and you'll see the thing there. All the money's going to go to the library. So we get libraries more around the country, and most of them do this, but we want to promote them. We want to make sure people know about them. So that's what I'm doing. So every penny that you pledge to get a question mark suit, I'm going to give right to that library. So they're encouraged to provide these services because there's so many little hurdles that we have in our mind that stops us from doing the things we want to do, and we're all frustrated because we don't have enough income and things like that. So this is an easy way, instead of delivering pizza, this is an easier way to make extra income and turn it into full-time income. Now I'm interviewing people, man, they start with no money. It costs 20 cents to set up a website, and they're off to the races. They have their own store in the biggest mall in the world, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Show people anybody can do this, even without computer skills. You could do this. It's sort of like when the cars first came out. Everybody didn't know how to ride a car, but eventually it became easy enough for everybody to do it. And that's what the internet's like now too. You always say, "Oh, I got to be a geek to do these things." No, you don't. You just have to try it. And so if there's little hurdles in the beginning, man, that help is available for free. Don't pay for anything on the internet for services or help to start a business when you can get it free. It's all available for free. You just have to know where to look, know who to ask for. So that's right. Take a look at my suit that I'm auctioning off. I'll give you the suit. I'll set it up. I just had it dry cleaned. It's all nice and neat and ready to go. It's wearable. You can wear it for Christmas. It's green, Christmas colors and everything like that. And so you go to eBay, and you put in handmade Matthew Lesko. Wow. Come on. Help people enjoy their life harder and have more fun in life and get more out of life. And you can that by running your own life, by starting these little income opportunities yourself. And don't get involved in any hucksters trying to charge you money when you could do it free. Remember, eBay, handmade Matthew Lesko. The older I get, the more it seems like Google experts and salesmen are really screwing up our life more than they're helping it. Man, bless their soul, they probably think they're doing something good in the world. But man, life is too complicated, for them, and we rely on them, and then God, it screws us up. Like now today in the paper I see this drug. I don't know if you saw the news recently, this young guy, about 30 or something like that, bought this drug company and is charging $750 for a pill that a lot of people take. And there's another company nobody even heard of that does the same thing for $1. And you probably wouldn't find it on Google because everybody's using the other expensive one. That's the problem with Google. Man, what's the most popular answer to anything? And that comes up first. Or if someone's trying to sell you something, that comes up first. Because they're paying money to get there. And then we don't know know. I mean, that's the problem. We're looking for help to make decisions, and we can't. So we go to an expert. Man, and they're guessing too. I mean, you see, the experts don't even know. I mean, they crash Wall Street, and you look at data that even the pundits about winning elections, they're wrong 50% of the time. That's like flipping a coin with two people. So yeah, it's all like that. But we rely on them for some reason. And the problem is, to me, is that these experts, when they become experts, they get more pompous because, oh, you call me an expert, so I have to be right. And then they become more set in their ideas, you know. And that closes their mind. They think there's only one way to do anything, and there isn't. You know, there's so many options, like starting a business or paying for college and all these kinds of things. They're options, but it takes work, it takes effort, it takes research. Yeah, and if you go to your best friends or whatever and get advice, man, you're just getting what everybody else is, and you don't get the opportunities. And you say, well, then it'll cost me $40,000 to go to college because I don't know any other options. Well, there are. Yeah. I mean, whether you could take courses online for free, you know, you could go to community college for $1,000 and go 2 years that way, or go overseas for free, so it costs you $1,000 in airfare. You're saving $40,000 a year, but we don't, appreciate that. Everybody wants to. We see most things we do in life are really just to try to impress other people. They're not to solve a problem. I want to get smart. Okay, what's the best way for me to get smart? It's really those, we follow the answer like, what do other people think is the best way and what impresses other people? Not if we're really getting smart or not. And that's what's neat about the new economy, man. People are doing things, without credentials because they find you're paying $50,000 a year for a credential and you still can't get a job. Well, that's crazy. Or you can go on a website, and raise $50,000 to do your idea because it's a good idea. And that's what's so neat about all what's happening in our world. But more importantly, man, I just talked to a fellow I know for years and years. He found out he had stage 4 cancer, and his wife wrote him off dead 4 different times, and all the doctors couldn't even help him. But he found a way. He found alternative sources that cured him. He said, if I trusted in Google, I would have been dead. And even the doctors, I would have been dead. You got to take control, and you may or may not be all right yourself. But boy, the experts believe they're right, And that's the problem. So they force you because we're all insecure. We don't know the answer to stuff. So we go to experts thinking they know, and they're insecure too. But they can't charge a lot of money if they look at it and admit they're insecure. They really don't know. It doesn't work all the time. The only way they're going to get money or more money is by making you believe they know the answer, and they can't. So that's why you have to be careful when using Google, using experts. Salesmen, man. See, when you argue with a salesman or get advice from a salesman, they know every question that you're going to ask ahead of time because they spend a career doing that. They heard everything bad. Like when I used to go to do talk shows, man, I knew everything that somebody was going to say bad about what I do because you can find bad about anything, But I had an answer. I knew it because I've been there before 1,000 times. That's what's so neat about being an expert. You have a good answer, man, for anybody who says you're full of shit. And I was able to do that. And if I didn't have one and somebody sandbagged me and I couldn't get an answer, I'd go home and study a good one. So I would look good and they wouldn't. Because they don't, it's just something off the top of their head. They're trying to look smart. I spent a lifetime studying this stuff so I could look better all the time. Same with every salesman. They practice and whatever and answer those questions hundreds of times already. So when you call them and ask them for something, you're smart. No, you can't. You can't argue. You're playing their game. So if you're coming to a gunfight with a slingshot, you're going to lose. And so just listen, take it in, and then do research. See, that's what's so neat about the internet. You can do research. You don't have to go to the library. When I was growing up, you went to the library to get this stuff. But now it is. But you can't just take what's on those first 30 pages of a Google printout. the good stuff isn't there. You have to do more work. And that's why people come into mind. You know, if you wanted to start a business or whatever kind of thing, and you go start it, you're going to get hundreds, millions of people want to sell you something. Man, you go to a startup meetup, you know, these meetups, you go to meetup.org and you find entrepreneurs there. People have done it. Or you're an inventor and you want to do inventor and you're going to look for help with your invention. Man, you're going to get people get $10,000 from you because they're sucking you. No, you go to meetup, local experts who've gone through all that already. People like you have gone through that and got themselves screwed out of $10,000. You'll find that out from people. That's why, see, the computer and database, I mean, there's millions and millions and millions of websites, but you find an expert who knows that and doesn't have anything to sell you. That's another thing. If you have an expert that's selling you something, then they're biased. I mean, they're going to spin everything so that what they have for you is the best thing. Experts that have nothing to sell you, yeah, are the best. Or now you have to worry about their political, because an ideology is like a salesman too. But at least they're not selling you something. And that's why if you go to a group or whatever and find a free expert that can help you, that read most of that junk on the internet already, and they know the 2 websites to go. Like me, if you want to get money to pay a bill, man, you're going to go on the website and you're going to get millions of websites and people want to sell you money. It'll be the most expensive money you ever get. I could show you websites that are going to give you money for free, but they won't be in Google. That's why it takes effort. So be careful of 3 people you got to worry about in this country. Google, experts, and salesmen. Okay, well, here's another shot across the bow of traditional banking. It's always been a joke in my mind anywhere, you know, that if you're a small business and you have to go to a bank for money, man, the banks don't want to lend money to anybody who needs money. They love lending money to people who don't need money. They're the people they want to lend money to. So there's a website that gets around all this kind of stuff, particularly for small business it's aimed at. It's brand new. And see, that's what's happening. These, you know, shared economy and other things with the platform, man, you know, just with a website, puts a banker out of business and actually gets money to people who can't get it in traditional banks, but are really good businesses. So, and actually, it's about a business here, a little restaurant that opened up in Michigan. Okay, now they bootstrapped the whole restaurant. Everything in the place is begged, borrowed, and stolen, or whatever, you know, to get this thing going. And like most small businesses, you know, they're working close to the belt, and they don't have lousy accounting systems and all this kind of stuff that traditional banks want. You know, well, these people understand that, you know, and it's called Zip Cap. Okay, and what they do is lend money to businesses like that. Businesses that need it, businesses that don't have good financials, businesses that don't own anything, businesses that are running out of the back pocket. You know, these kinds of things, they understand it. And where they get the collateral from is customers. So you have to be in business for like a year or so, you know. And what they do is say, get, you know, like this one business, it's what's the name of the restaurant? Breezy's Cafe. They got 130 members, 130 patrons saying that, hey, yeah, we'll spend at least like $450 here for a year, you know, because they just love it. You know, this is your people who love him. So all they're doing is promising they're going to pay there. And I don't know, a lot of people, some of the people who promise don't really, you know, fall into that. But, you know, I mean, they don't follow through, but it looks like there's no, you know, big penalty involved. But so the small business found 130 people say they love us. We'll come here. We'll spend at least, you know, $400 or $500 for the next year, whatever. Okay, just on that kind of information. See, this website, zipcap.com, zipcap.com, will get you the money you need. Like they borrowed $10,000, and and they're paying on time now and everything. Some of the banks, they were turned down by banks in the area, that didn't want to give them the money because they had no collateral, they had no equity, they had no long history, they never borrowed money before, they didn't have a business plan, and all their accounting system was a drawer of receipts, But this is based on customers. I mean, that's the value of any business. I mean, the business is all about customers. All this other stuff is nonsense to me. If you don't have a customer and it doesn't come back, man, you're out of business. So that's why the whole thing about business is getting customers. So what they're able to do on a website is say, okay, we'll lend money to you. So they do the deal and the paperwork and all this kind of stuff and get that restaurant money. And then they've been paying back, and it's going along fine. And that's why I say, gosh, I mean, what's happening in our life now because of the internet? If we didn't have the internet there, it wouldn't happen. I mean, you have to be running around and knocking on every door to get money for your restaurant here, but there's a platform. It makes it easy, and it all happens. So that's why the growth in our country are things like this, not the old stuff. The bankers aren't going to grow. I mean, they'll probably still be getting loans to big businesses or something like that. But it's the little guy, that's what's happening. And that's actually a more satisfying life for most of us now, too. But how do we get the money to do that? Well, see, there's new opportunities to get that money, to keep them small and be feel like a craftsman. You're working, as a chef in Shoney's or something like that. How do you feel any soul for that? Maybe you take pride in your work, but customers, man, when you have a little mom and pop restaurant, man, that you could throw your heart on that table every day for a customer. And that's why I started to see, gosh, love is what life is all about. These big corporations don't love you, and you don't love them back because they don't love you, so you're not going to love somebody back if they don't love you. They're just using the hell out of you for as much as they could get, right? And so that's not a lovable situation. So if you're in a situation in your work environment, well, gosh, you love your customers, so they're so important, and then they start loving you back, and wow, and the people that work, the small group of people you work with are so tight and love each other and protect each other instead of fighting politically for the next raise or growth. No, life doesn't have to be like that. Just think if your home life was like that, like your work life, everybody politicking for how I'm going to get around this guy and screw him out of this and get a raise and they not. And boy, that'd be a lousy home life, right? But we accept it in the business life, right? We don't have to. So take a look at ZipCap and the kind of businesses they have. I mean, they have an arts business in there they're helping. They have a bakery business and they're just starting. So find out about it. Maybe this is the kind of money for you, or there may be another one for you. There's a lot of opportunities like this, not only traditional money, there's other local crowdfunding things for business in local areas that do the same thing, but not really. So there's always big twists on all this, but just keep track of all this stuff. A lot of new stuff is happening. That's really neat. You can take advantage of and start growing. Okay, here's a free, legitimate, legal way to have Harvard University on your resume so you can say, yes, I studied at Harvard University. And it's amazing. I mean, see, I think that most people go to college and they feel they have to go to college, and that's to get traditional jobs, because all people, these big corporations, all they want to know is your credentials. They don't really care if you can do it or not, and you're not really judged on if you could do things, but really what kind of credentials you have and what kind of hoops you went through in society. And actually, as an aside, see, that's what the new economy is about. Man, they just don't care if you do this stuff. I mean, you put something on a crowdfunding and they're not asking you for what degrees. They give you money because, hey, you could do this stuff, and that's it. But to get a traditional job in our economy, you need credentials and degrees and fancy names and all that kind of. That's why higher education costs so much, because they can get it, because people think it's worth so much. Yep. And in reality, that's really debatable, and I think that's going to come down. But until then, I'll show you a way to have on your resume, you studied at Harvard University. Right. Now, actually, Harvard University has courses that you could take online. All kinds of subjects. Well, almost anything you want to take nowadays, and you go to online-learning.harvard.edu. They have all different kinds, for credit, not for credit, certificate, open certificate, closed certificate, and they're free. There's free ones too. So like here, you could study computer science. Okay, where is that thing here I have here? So it's a like introduction to computer science. So for the next interview, you say, well, what do you know about computers, young lady? I said, well, I'm not a geek, but I studied computer science at Harvard University. Right. Wow. So what you do until then, so now you can legitimately put on your resume if you go there and go introduction to computer science. See, and that's you could take it for free, and they get what's called an open certificate. It doesn't cost you anything. Once you complete the course, you get a certificate, and it doesn't have your name on it, but you get a certificate. So it's legitimate. You took the course and made it through. If you want a verified certificate, and that costs $90 or whatever. There's no SATs, no nothing. You just sign up for the course. I just signed up for a course myself. Didn't ask for anything to take the course. God, I mean, I think it's not only a terrific way to learn stuff, because this is supposedly the best university in the world, but actually to show people how to use the system too. I mean, that's the important thing, is that if you have important skills, now you see all the idiots that have jobs, just because they have a resume doesn't mean they can do the job or they're smart or anything. But a lot of these gatekeepers think that. So that's going away slowly. But I mean, some of the neat courses, like if you're going to you want to get a job in the healthcare field, well, you could take a course in health and society, innovating in healthcare, United States health policy, or leadership strategies for information technology and healthcare. So if you're at higher level, and then you're able to legitimately put on your resume that you took courses and you studied at Harvard University. So looking at candidates, Harvard University, that's going to pop out. You want to work for a nonprofit organization, so you could take a course called Nonprofit Financial Stewardship Webinar, Introduction to Accounting and Financial Statements. So maybe you won't get an A in it, but you learn the jargon too, and be able to put it on your resume. So that's what's neat, and that's what's happening in our society. And I think that things are changing. The old way, is not working anymore. Nothing old is working. It's going to be here for a long time. Harvard's not going to go away, right? But there's so much new stuff, and people are going to learn more about how this old stuff we kept score. It really didn't mean anything. And people who are better, that don't have those fancy credentials, are actually better at the job. That's why the internet, crowdfunding, things like that, is get rid of all that nonsense. You don't have it just on what you could do. And just show us you could do it. And that's all you need. So try. Do you know that America is missing? They're missing 1 million entrepreneurs. Right. What's happening in our country is that fewer people are starting businesses. Back in 1970, entrepreneurs, people who started business, represented about 3% of our population. Then it started growing, kept growing up to about 5% at the end of the 90s. Then it went down, and they figured we're 1 million short, than what we should be. And God, it's amazing to me. I think maybe what people don't realize, it's easier now and cheaper now than ever before to start a business. But what happened, the data, looking at the data, people in the middle class are the ones who stop starting businesses. The rich, that's still growing. The poor, people like making under $40,000 a year, that's still growing, And that's what this country's all about, right? I mean, the people, the immigrants that couldn't get good jobs or whatever, and so they started their own companies, and then they became Ford Motor or something, eventually. And that's what's so neat, I think, about America. And the rich people know that That's where the money is. I mean, the data I've seen, was who's millionaires in this country are those who small business. I mean, people inherit and become millionaires, and the other people, like very expensive professionals, doctors or lawyers, become millionaires. But like 80-90% of them are people in their own business, and it's not high-tech business. It's the guy who owns the dry cleaning or the pet infection business, or all kind of funny little businesses is where the real wealth is. You don't see them on households of the rich and famous, but they're millionaires because that's what happened. So now they're shrinking. People are getting more scared of starting a business, it seems, particularly those in the middle class from 40,000 to 150,000. But I think that's going to change because those middle class jobs aren't safe anymore. Also, it becomes easier now than ever to start a business. You don't need money of yourself with crowdfunding and the shared economy and things like this. You put an idea on the internet and raise $100,000 to start your business. Before, you needed 2 years of income or whatever. Now you can also start ideas part-time. So you keep your full-time boring job or whatever you got you don't want to do forever and start part-time and learning how to make money, whether it's a service, whether anywhere in the world, where it's a product idea or whatever. And the help that's out there is better. We used to think that, I need professionals to start a business, right? And you don't, man. All this stuff is for free. Actually, one place you go is the government has offices set up where they give grants to professional people who know how to start businesses to help you for free. And they're all over the country. There's special offices like that just for women. There's special offices for vets or for anybody else. And actually, we have them. I have a map on a website called bigdatalesco.com/map. bigdatalesco.com/map. And you could go there and find the offices that will help you for free, show you any legal problem you have, how to get fixed for free, show you any marketing problem, how to get fixed for free, personnel, technology, money, finance, or whatever. God, you don't have to pay for any of that stuff. And I think that's what stops people. You have to pay for accountants and lawyers and business plans. No, you don't. All that is free if you know where to look. But see, the people who are giving it for free, you don't find on Google. So you're looking to start a business, don't go Google. First of all, get free help. How do other people do it? Who are the experts saying? Get free experts. So that bigdatalesco.com/map will show you the free experts in your area. That will help you start your business for free. Another good place is meetup.com. So meetup.com, that's a great website for all kind of groups that meet in your area. And if you put your area in there and just put business or startup business or things like that, like in Washington, there's 30, 40, 50 groups like that don't cost any money. You just go to their next meeting, sign up, and find out from other people doing the same thing. See, that's another thing about starting a business. If you're in a group of people that are not entrepreneurs or anything like that, they'll tell you it's nuts. You don't want to start your own business, and they know 50 reasons why not to. But inside you want to. And it's probably even intellectually the best thing to do because it's the most secure thing now, with jobs not being secure, and pensions are going, and all this kind of stuff, to create your own money. So meetups, you find like-minded people, give you the tips that they've learned and share. And you have people that encourage you. So, people who don't understand what it takes to start a business, are really not as sympathetic. They'll say, hey, why don't you get a good job? You can make twice as much, 3 times as much. Yeah, but I'm losing my soul that way. I don't think that's the best way to live my life and to enjoy my life forever. And I want to start this business. And now it's so easy to start your business part-time. Just on the side. Why watch football games on Sunday when you can be developing your business? And that's easy to do. On the internet, there's platforms that you don't even have to know how to, program or anything, be a tech. You could go to your local public library, and what that will do is help you set up your website on one of these for free. I mean, all the things you need to start a business is available for free, and you don't even need money. There's stuff now. People buy things before you even make them. You don't even have to have a product. You just have to describe it. Maybe show a picture of what it's going to look like. So it's all kinds of ways. You're just selling your own services. Gosh, if you have, to me, it's safer to have 3 customers instead of 1 boss. So if you have a service, you like doing accounting or public relations or photography, man, yeah, you find 3 clients instead of working for 1 newspaper or whatever it is who could fire you at a drop of a hat. 3 clients is more safe, and then you get 4 or whatever, and grow like that. You're investing in yourself all the time, and that's, I think, the point of life is you invest in yourself until you don't need it anymore, and then you start investing in the next generation. So for starting a business, you want to go out and let's make that quota. We need an extra million people starting businesses in this country. So it's startup.org and bigdadalesco.com/MAP. Well, Bo Bradley, and you're with Williamsport Memorial Library.
That's right.
But that's Washington County, Maryland. And it's really in the Hagerstown area, right? Just outside.
That's right.
And I met you a week or 2 ago because I came up to the library and gave a speech. It was terrific, and you were wonderful out there. The people were great to talk to. And there's a little cafe right downtown, which I really loved. And the guy there was so nice. He had a poster of me being at your library, and he bought me dinner and everything.
That's right. We try to treat you right around here.
So it was really nice. But you said something so important, I thought. That's why I wanted to talk to you. When I was there, you told the audience, because I talked about how to use the internet to get money and start businesses and all this kind of stuff. And you said that people could come into your library certain hours a day, and you help them set up a website store and stuff like that. Man!
Absolutely.
Wow! Is this done in other libraries, or are you the only one in the world doing this?
There are other libraries that are offering all kinds of different services like this. And I wanted to start doing something like it, and I thought instead of trying to make it really specific for just a couple things, I said, well, I'll just use whatever I have. You can come in, you can ask me a question. The worst I can say is, I don't know. Let's try to find something. But, I found a lot of people who are coming in have pretty basic questions. They just kind of need enough to get going, and they can figure out the rest themselves. Yeah,
I guess we're all that way. The unknown makes us just stay away from the water,
Yeah, I help a lot of people who they've never used computers before. Maybe they're older, or they've worked for a long time in a job where they didn't have to use it. And they're coming back to it, and they're nervous, they're scared, they don't know. And they're worried they're going to mess it up and all that.
Right, exactly. The machine will start smoking or something.
Yeah, that's right. and I'll throw them out of the library.
Right. But the important thing, the fee you charge isn't much at all, is it?
No, Matthew, it's a big fat zero. I don't charge a dime.
I know, that's what I can't get over. We have these experts out there. See, if you Google for help, you'll get some guy who's going to charge you money because you're Googling for it. He knows you want help, and he'll charge you because you don't know that Bo is down the street doing it for free.
That's right. Let me tell you, if you still think of your public library just in terms of checking books out, and maybe doing your summer reading program, and that's all you think we do, you're dead wrong at this point in time. And we do so many things nowadays along these lines to help people. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I believe. I've been, at libraries giving speeches where they have maker communities. People, come in and use a 3D printer and all this kind of stuff. It's terrific, and they have lend-lease toys or whatever, not toy, but real stuff you could use. But it's the education. That's why I think, the library is still such an important part of our community. Yeah,
absolutely.
And people used to line up to the video stores, and I thought, boy, that was stupid, man. The library's more important.
That's right. The library, we're about connecting people with the resources that they need. And that usually means resources they can't just go out and get on their own due to cost or accessibility or whatever. And that used to just be the books and the reference material. And, it's funny now because there was a point in time where people thought bringing computers and the internet into libraries was crazy. It's like, well, that's not what you do. That's how and it's such just a core, normal part of what we do. I mean, and so library is always looking for what's that next thing we can go out and we want to grab you in one hand and this thing in the other and put it together. That's what we do.
Boy, that's all you need in life. You don't need anything else in my mind. Everybody else is selling you stuff you can get from the library for free. And there's another, actually, you talk about resource. Another resource I think is great you guys have is like access to specialized databases that the individual can't afford. You know, like the Foundation Center. You know, if you're looking for private sector grants from foundations, man, you guys got it. And what's cool about coming to you guys is that you know how to use it.
That's right. And and if you're in an area with a bigger library, I mean, and I'm not even talking about like the New York Public Library.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to your kind of central library, they're probably going to have a business librarian,
right,
or all this stuff. People who specialize and know this stuff,
right,
and they know the area well. So if you're looking to start that business or do this or that, they have those resources, and they're the expert that's going to be able to show you, like you said, how to do all this stuff.
And to me, I think everybody now, we've been, Google has, educated us that you get anything you want in Google. Yeah, but it's explosion is what you get. I mean, a lot of people come to me, I want a business grant. So if you go on Google and put in business grant, you literally get 50 million websites, and you're not going to be able to live long enough.
and let me tell you something. This is some librarian wisdom. When you do a Google search, especially for stuff like that, those first few pages of results are people who have paid to be there. They're the ones who said, I want Google, I'm going to pay you money, because that's how Google makes money.
Absolutely.
And they're saying, put me up first. So when someone types in business grants or this or that, they want to be first. And that's usually someone who then wants to turn around and make money off you. You're not going to get that great result first. That's like, here's how it is.
And another reason I think that happens because the person who's giving it for free, like you have maybe a free grant in Hagerstown to start a business. Well, they don't have money to advertise on Google.
That's right. That's right. All these like great local resources, and that's why you won't see your public library first.
Right.
You don't have the money to pay out.
You guys know this stuff. You've been there before.
Exactly.
You're doing it. That's why now that I'm thinking about this more is that. You guys are so much more important now because there's so much crap on the internet that you get frustrated. You don't know how to use it. You can't get what you want. And what happens? You fall into bed with the first sucker who you feel comfortable with, and give them money and hope you get the answer, and you won't.
That's exactly right. We say Google will give you a million answers. A librarian will give you the right answer.
Wow, that's great.
Write that down. Write that down.
I believe, man, and that's what it's about. See, to me, it used to be the phone, and that's why I used to like. Because you go and you don't know what's good, bad. You call the expert or whatever, and on a phone, and so call the reference librarian or whatever. But and now it's still a people business. No matter how much stuff is on the internet, everybody. Oh, I don't need it, but yes, you do. You need it even more because they're just the information is growing exponentially.
Right. And the thing to think, when you talk to your librarian, we don't have the ulterior motive.
Right.
We're not going to get you to that point and say,
absolutely.
Now, just $30.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm already getting paid to be there. I like helping people. Right. That's why I'm
absolutely. And to me, the person who's out there selling you something, when they're selling you the one thing, they're thinking what else they could sell you.
How can they get you hooked in? How can they get
and they spend their whole life thinking like that, and they can't get out of it. Even no matter how good they feel their heart is, man, they're still trying to. But you guys are pure, just trying to help somebody. Where else are you going to get that? Not even your own home.
I know. It's subversive in this day and age. I mean, it's crazy.
I know. And it's so important because information is so important. And if you don't have access to the world, if you don't have access to the world, to the web, you can't communicate in the world. You can't do business. You can't do almost anything.
And even more dangerous is not the information; it's the disinformation.
Yes,
it's people who are misleading you and leading. And we're the only people that can do this for you.
Right.
We're the only one. That's never the case. That's never the case.
Absolutely,
we fight against that constantly.
Yeah, no, it's knowing your options in life. And it's just so easy. But when you see 50 million websites, the first sweet voice, you're going to jump in bed with that.
Right. There are a lot of really nice, slick-looking websites that have pretty pictures of like the beach, and they'll make you feel comfortable, and maybe they'll have a little nice music.
Right.
And then they'll hit that point where they'll say, "Well, now put your credit card in.
Right.
Give me this." Oh man, I see it all the time.
Man. Oh, well, we got to start a crusade there, bro. Because I believe it, and I'm even thinking of getting back to real research. I mean, see, that's what I used to do. I used to do like research papers for businessmen. They pay me thousands of dollars to go to the library and find out. And now it's the same thing. And if people, it just, we have a bigger problem now than ever with information because of the explosion, and so there's more hucksters out there. I mean, a huckster couldn't print thousands of books and have them in the library, Right. But for $10, I could print a book and have it on the internet, and
Right. Exactly.
And now I see even movies I can put on the internet. I could do like here I'm videotaping now.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so there's just going to be more junk out there. And we need cops. Where's the internet cops? I mean,
and that's that's what the internet, as long as it's been around, it's always been like totally free and easy,
yes.
Wild West, like, and that's, I think personally, that's for the best.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Is to not control, because it's so much there, but. Yeah, I mean that's the danger you run into out there if you don't know how to navigate those waters.
Right.
It is free for all.
Right.
So.
Now you got to be armed.
That's right.
Yeah, and the principles, of being armed. So in other words, okay, let's take a case here. Okay, I want to start a business. I have a computer at home. I sort of go on an email. I surf the net or whatever, look a little porn or
whatever you got to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But hey, all these people talking to me start a business. So I say, well, how do I start a little store? Maybe, Esty, you're familiar with them. I don't know, a lot of people are, but that's a place on the internet. You could set up your own store. Maybe you're doing crafts at home, right? And say, well, how do I sell that? And so one place, a very big, I mean, they're worth billions of dollars, this company. You could put a store like for 20 cents or something like that, have a store, right, on SD. But, oh, God, what is this called? URL, me are you, or what?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, if you're just starting like that, it's a lot. I mean, and it's hard to come at. So.
Yeah. So I could come down to your library, like certain hours, yeah?
That's right. Every Friday, I block out a few hours to help people with this kind of stuff. And we come in, and I'll sit right down there with you, and we'll go through. And I've never set up an Etsy store, but I've done enough things online to where I know what they're going to ask and what they're going to expect, and I can help you, walk you right through it, and I can get you going.
Yeah.
And just another little side thing, since we're talking about starting a business. Say you didn't want to start an online business. Say you want to open a coffee shop.
Right.
You want to go out, maybe find some investors and all that stuff.
Right.
But you've never done any of that. You've never written a business plan. You can come into the library, and we have books and books of pre-made business plans for all these different businesses. And so you can start, and we can get you resources on entrepreneurship and starting a small business, and we can hook you up with that business librarian that we have.
Right.
And there's all these resources there to where if you want to go out and start a traditional business, we can help you. If you want to go start an e-business, and again, that's the kind of stuff you would pay big bucks for online. For me to say, well, gosh, I want to start a coffee shop. Oh, great, I have this template for a coffee shop business plan. I'll sell it to you for $150.
That's right.
And you can come in and, photocopy at 15 cents a page.
Right, so good old Bo will do this. And Bo's not trying to upsell you to something else. Well, you're just terrific. My tape is going to run out, or my CD, or whatever the heck it is nowadays. And but I got to do more of this. We got to educate people more about what's going on, how they're getting trapped into buying stuff and wasting time that they don't have to. Resources like you, public library is still the best source of information, because we can't keep up on everything, and your hearts are in the right place like nobody else. You're never going to charge a nickel for anything.
And let me tell you one thing, Matthew, before I go. If your library is not doing this stuff, go talk to them. Tell them you want it. Go request it. Show them there's interest in it. And if you see something cool at your local library, something you're excited about, go to it. Go actually participate, because that's the worst thing when we plan things. If we don't get any response, we say, oh, that didn't work, let's move on. We're going to keep trying new things. But go talk to them and tell your librarians you want this stuff, whether you're at the tiniest little library in the Podunk Falls, Iowa, or you're at the New York Public Library or somewhere gigantic. Go talk to them and tell them what you want to see. Maybe they're already doing it. Or maybe they'll want you to come in and help start it with.
Exactly. Or maybe the library down the street is. They'll know. Somebody else does it. Everything. And it's for free. So why pay something when it's for free? And this is your tax dollars. Everybody bitches about the government and they don't use it.
That's right. Here in Washington County, where I work, you pay roughly $18 a year to the library. Because when we have people come from out of state, that's what we have to charge them.
I see.
So $18, if you come in and you check out of 3 movies, you've already made that back instead of buying.
Absolutely. Wow.
If you check out a few books, get a few things for the kids, you've already made that money back on one visit. So if we want to talk about return on investment.
Absolutely. This is it. Well, Bo, thank you very much. So at the Williamsport Memorial Library in Washington County, Maryland, Bo Bradley, man, a hero to the information industry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Take care.
Be back anytime.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.